What's going on, people? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. We got to talk about something. It ain't celebrity gossip, none of that shit. It ain't even about some of the coonery and buffoonery we see going on. It's about something real. You know what I'm saying? Something deadly that went down right there in our own backyard in the Caribbean Sea. The shit happened back in September. Now, y'all know who the so-called Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is. I got nicknames for him like everybody else. People call him Pete Keg Breath. Sometimes I call him Pissy Pete. But he might be in some serious some trouble right now for a drone operation that motherfuckers is coming down on him about. Now, I don't know if everybody knows about the boats that they've been blowing up in the Caribbean, calling it drug interdiction. Well, somebody gave an order that nobody was supposed to survive that shit. Okay? So on I think it was September 2nd. That's what September 2nd, yeah. US drones targeted one of these boats supposed to be carrying drugs. So the United States did the drone strike. Hit the target. Target blows up. Except two people still on the water, hanging on to a piece of wood, trying to survive. Out there with no protection, no nothing, just hanging on. So somebody ordered another drone strike on those two individuals. You know, somebody did a direct follow-up shot on those survivors. Survivors. I mean, they was unarmed, no threat, no weapon, no possibility of escape. They'd have probably drowned anyway. Two wounded human beings clinging to a piece of wood in the middle of the sea. This wasn't combat here or drug interdiction here. This was a straight up execution. Seriously. So we all know that military drones, they don't fly themselves. I mean, they fly themselves, but somebody has to give this command. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to sign off on this. Somebody got some issues with the rules of engagement. That's what Pete Hegseth said at that big meeting. He was going to scrap the rules of engagement. You know what I'm saying? But now the two people who clearly was out of the fight was executed in the middle of the ocean, and nobody wants to take responsibility for that directive, that nobody was to be left alive. Now, I heard with my own ears Pissy Pete say that he watched the thing when it happened. I heard that with my own ears. But now that Congress is asking questions, now that, people seeing the cruelty and the inhumanity of what's going on, somebody gonna have to pay for it. So my man Admiral Halsey, Alvin Halsey, he was Alvin Halsey, Holsey, I believe his last name is spelled. He got out early because he saw the illegality in what they were doing. He got out early. So what's happening now that they're asking questions about these two wounded guys getting shot getting shot out of the water. People are demanding answers, and so somebody going up under the bus. Now, I don't know if it's gonna be Pissy Pete or they're gonna call in a patsy, but it sounds like what they're doing. You know what I mean? It sounds like that's what they're doing. They're getting ready to throw somebody else under the bus. But at the end of the day, this shit here was bigger than, Pete Hegseth, or bigger than politics, is bigger than some so-called drug war. It's about morality at the end of the day. It's about who we supposed to be as a nation. It's about whether it's okay to kill people simply because they poor and vulnerable and out of sight. You know what I mean? We could kill anybody we want, anytime we want, and no one can do anything about it. That's the kind of country the United States, and then lie. But you know what? When I look back on the years that I've been following this stuff, it's always been like this. The United States has always come up with a reason to kill people and do what the hell it wants to do. You know? So it can take what it wants to take and calling it protecting its own self-interest. But I ain't never seen nothing so cruel in my entire life of following this kind of shit. So we're gonna see what happens. Pete Hegseth may be the first one to have to leave the Trump administration because of this. And if that's the case, that's what I say. He may be the first one to get the boot. But when you surrounded by liars and thieves and like-minded ne'er-do-wells, he may survive this one and they may find somebody else to throw under the bus. Anyway, what y'all think about it? Hit me in the comments section. Let me know. Thanks for coming by and listening to me talk my shit. Before you go check out my other channel. I have the Awareness Channel, TCE Voice Line, and I have the Johnny Clyde channel. Go check those two out. Y'all might find something over there interesting. Thanks for coming by. I'll catch y'all on the next one. TC, and I'm out. Peace.